think, I'm not sure. I think I'm live. I won't say I'm live. I'm not 100% that I'm live, but we gonna see. Put this over here. And put this right here. And I'm getting old, y'all. Wrong shade. Glasses real quick here. Let's see. You saw the thumbnail, you saw the title, and that's what this is about, man. I need some interaction on this one, for real. I really need y'all to let me know what's going on because I'm trying to figure it out myself. Let me see if am I getting good sound? Excuse me. Y'all gotta forgive the glare with my glasses. My last live was kind of dark, so y'all bear with me. Please and thank you. I might even, let's see. Might even have to throw on some headphones if I got too much echo. Y'all let me know what you're hearing. Yeah, man, it's crazy out there as far as this whole bird flu situation from what I'm seeing. Um, it's an old story, but it's a new story at the same time. What I mean by that? What I mean by that is you got articles going all the way back to like 2021. But the new flu. I hope I can say that because y'all know how YouTube is. I'm not trying to get hemmed up for saying uh, whatever because you know how stuff is right now. But what I'm seeing is New York Times reporting on it. Um, a lot of global news is reporting on it. Some local stations over in the States are reporting on it. And by it, I mean this bird flu. And I mean, the story's been around for a few weeks now. So we talking like maybe 4 or 5 weeks, maybe a little bit longer. And I wouldn't even bring it up because that's not what I do over here. This African dreaming. We talking about farming. We talking about gardening. We talking about agriculture. We talking about raising cows and chickens and horses and well, minus the horses, but goats, you name it. But I really don't like getting into the whole space of um, news like this kind of news. And the only reason I'm getting in it in the first place, I'll be honest with you, is because I am a farmer. That's what we do. Uh, that's what the business is. So when you potentially confronted with something that seems to not be going away like this, maybe it's time to start paying attention to it. That's one topic. That's one part of the conversation. The other part of the conversation is for my people back in the States. Shout out everybody, family. How y'all doing? Love y'all, friends. Love y'all too. Folks I don't know, love y'all too. That's just where I'm at. Let me know. Leave a comment. You can jump in the chat if you like. What's going on with this shortage, right? With this whole chicken shortage, poultry as a whole. Now, the first part of the story that, well, I'll say this like more recently. More recently, the reports are coming out of North Carolina, South Carolina. One of the, I think it's, I'm gonna say South Carolina, North Carolina. I forget the name of the county, but uh, apparently some hunters, yada yada. I think duck hunting, quail, pheasant. I don't know. Either way, this led to a discovery, that this infection, this bird flu that's apparently been in the UK for a while and other parts of the world has made it to the US. So, you know, I don't know. What are we supposed to do with that as people into farming. And if any farmers out there, if y'all check this out, even if you catch the live later, leave a comment, especially on the continent of Africa, anywhere, not limited to Africa, but anywhere. Let me know what you're doing, what you've heard, how you're handling this situation. Uh, the only thing I'm 100% sure of, eventually, that this is gonna lead to, is the price is going up. I'm almost sure of that, because from what I can see, everything high already anyway, right? So adjust my camera here a little bit. Okay. Excuse me. Put my glasses back on. So it's looking like this is gonna lead to more increased prices across the board for poultry, and I'm not just talking about chicken, man. I mean, a lot of people in other cultures, they consume a lot of duck. That may not be a typical, uh, meal preference for the average American, but for people from other parts of the country who live in America, or people, Americans, culturally, I'm getting into a cultural thing now. People be getting down on duck, man. People eat, especially people who hunt their own food. They eat a lot of quail. They eat. Oh, that's another point I wanted to bring up. I'm glad I said that. It's I forget exactly where it was, but some people already being told they can't hunt. So that's another one of the. Hey, what's up, fam? Empress, how you doing, sister? Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Thank you for jumping in. How is this going to impact people who don't completely rely on the whole grocery store chain system, especially in the States and more? I don't really like this word, but I'm gonna use this word. I say developed, I call it developed countries. And nothing wrong with that. I grew up shopping people. I grew up, hunting and fishing too. But like, what is this gonna lead to? Because it's already really expensive, from what I gather from people I've talked to. Prices going not so bad here. Thank you, sis. I'm glad you're digging the topic, and it's important. And the reason I'm raising this question is because right now in East Africa and Tanzania, I'm anxious to see how this is going to impact me as a farmer and as an investor. Uh, because there are certain entities and certain countries in this world, the way they go tends to kind of be the way that a lot of the rest of the world goes eventually. So we're gonna see. And as it stands right now, as of to date, it could have been some new information dropped since I started preparing for this live, but 39 countries. That's a big outbreak. That's a big outbreak. That's not a little bitty outbreak. Um, if in fact all of this is accurate and true and correct. And something else I found interesting, that a lot of poultry is being absolutely destroyed right now. We seen that before earlier in this whole when this thing I say that because y'all know when this thing first popped off, uh, yeah, 39 countries for real. It's I mean it's something that a lot of people don't pay attention to, and rightfully so, because if you're not invested um, in farming, or if you're not raising your own chickens, why would this be a top? Because I don't think the average person like really think like that. Like that's not. You don't wake up, have your coffee, and wonder how the chicken game going. But the reason I'm making this video is because it's getting more and more and more pervasive. Like it's not going nowhere. again, I don't really like getting into news on my channel. For anybody who just somebody else just jumped in, for people who just jumped in, African Dreaming, we about that mix between being an East Texan and living in Tanzania, Texanian. you know, we like to share our cultural experiences with our brothers and sisters here, and they reciprocate that. And so far, it's been a beautiful experience, for the most part. That being said, I don't want to stray too far off topic. I digress. Look, something's going on here. Something's going on here. Enough for me to really be concerned with what's coming next. Not so much for me here personally, but what does this mean for the next couple of months for people who how is this going to impact orders? If you have a 200 bird order, a 500 chick order, 1,000 chick order, after, I'm sure most people will probably do that after the rainy season, because rainy season kind of slipped in a little early, at least in the Arusha region, and it's kind of on time, but it's a little early. So hold on, let me see what my girl. See, now you can't go hitting nails on heads and stuff, because then, you sound conspiratorial to some, and it sound crazy, but yo, it's like, I will admit this. I fully admit this. This is one thing that made me scratch my head. And yeah, anybody else who want to jump in, man, y'all jump in. Let me know what you thinking, what's going on in your area, in your region. Even people up in Dar, I want to know how things are going up that way. But I'm real interested in the U.S. What's the food market? Yes, 100%. It is all a dispute right now. And look here. I can't get over this one thing, right? This one thing that just really stood out to me. Not the fact that what country? I think Israel made a huge order for eggs, if I understand correctly. Not how it originated or started in the UK. Nah, I can get over that. Apparently, the way that that this whole thing was discovered in the States, you got some guys out hunting in the Carolinas, one of them, north or south, whichever one it was, whatever. I've been hunting before, and maybe, if I'm way off on something, please leave a comment. Let me know where I'm going astray. But usually, you might go ahead and field dress your kill right there, or you might bring it back to the house and field dress it or whatever. But I've never went hunting and said, man, let me swing by ranger's office real quick and see if my bird's sick. I've never done that. So the way that this whole thing came out, I was out with my chickens earlier today, and wasn't nobody coughing, wasn't nobody sneezing. Chickens do sneeze, y'all, believe it or not. It's what you could tell when your chicken's sick. One or two of them, they not themselves, because they all tend to have their own little personality, unless you have so many that you never want to get that connected or whatever. But I'm talking about my personal chickens now, my personal consumption chickens. But yeah, that stood out to me. And Empress, I followed you for a minute, and well, they it might not be a cough like how we cough, but you know what I'm saying. That stood out to me, and I'm just really wondering where this is gonna lead with regards to prices. That's the one thing that whatever, it started how it started. It's gonna end however it ends. But in the interim, um, I'm just throwing out hypothetical numbers here. Let's say I could get hypothetical. I'm just whatever. I don't want nobody commenting saying, "No, that you ever pay that much for print? You crazy?" Okay, let's just say I could get 500 chickens for baby chicks, broilers, egg birds, either one. Um, Show you right, sis. Show you right. It all go back to that dollar bill, man. In my opinion, and that's why this is my focus of concern. Is because uh, it might not be next month. It might not be in the next 2 months. It might even drag out till the summer. But the reason I feel like that could potentially be expedited is because talked with some family today back in Texas, and two different family members, two different parts of the state, right? And both of them said that the chicken game looking real shife on them shelves, man. Like it's looking real shife. It's slim pickings. So if it's slim pickings right now, and this whole bird flu epidemic, pandemic, excuse me, I don't even like using that word because it's YouTube. You know what I'm saying? You can't play no music. You can't fight. You can't do nothing on YouTube. So I'm trying to, cross the T's and dot the I's. But it's like, man, word, it's like that. And then I got some. I talked to family up on the West Coast. Same thing. East Coast. Same thing. That says to me that without a shadow of a doubt, uh, whatever is left in as far as poultry goes, I'm trying to think the next major holiday, next major holiday would be, what you call it, Valentine. I don't really, put those two together like a more festive type holiday like Thanksgiving or Christmas or uh you see what I'm saying? So what we got come like it's spring to Easter, something else. Y'all help me out. If I can't think of nothing. If y'all got ideas, throw it in the chat. But you see what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. Like I got a big imagination. I believe anything possible, good, bad, and in between. If somebody set their mind to it, myself included. So I just don't want to wake up one day, man, and leg quarters is like, you know what I'm saying, 2 for 10. Can you imagine that? 2 for 10 for some leg quarters? For leg quarter. I don't know if it's gonna happen. I'm just saying. And again, this is not. I don't look. I befriended. I follow some people who show you right. You know what you see. I know what I see. And sometimes you just gotta kind of navigate through and lead them breadcrumbs and say it without always saying it, so you can keep on saying something. Especially with censorship being the way it is. But do I believe in people in preparedness? Sure, I do. I just don't try to influence anybody one way or another. But when it comes to this farming thing, uh, the reason this hit home for me is because like this is what we do. This is what we do. So uh, anybody who live in Tanzania, or most African countries, you see street cuckoo all the time. I'm for real, like street cuckoo. We call them street cuckoo. The locals call them street cuckoo. It's these chickens that they like They get up, they get dressed, they go hang out at the stove, you know what I'm saying? They go over to their boy house, they live their best chicken life. And in the evening they go back to the crib. Like nobody bought, I've never in my life, other than here, seen like 3 or 4 dogs and 5 or 6 chickens 2 meters away from each other and everybody you know, hey, it is what it is. But I don't know how it's gonna affect here because I'm already seeing such a big difference between the way that how do I say this? The little bit that I do know and the people that I have spoken with, I think it's got a way bigger potential to be more of an issue in the more developed countries or developed countries than it does in Africa because, or at least where I'm at in Africa. I don't speak for the whole continent. I speak for myself and where I'm at. Let's see if we live. Yeah, I remember that. I remember that. I remember that. All I can say is wherever we are in the world, um, just pay attention. Pay attention to certain things, especially moves like this, because best case scenario, let's say all of this blows over, which it could. Let's hope for the best. Let's be uh I choose to be pessimistically optimistic quite often. So I'm gonna stick with that. But it's hard for me to explain to some people sometimes how food works here because it's so different from how things work in the States. As far as like food consumption, the way you shop, when you shop, uh, most people I know here shop daily for what they're gonna cook right then or that day, or maybe tomorrow. But even tomorrow is kind of like, yeah, because there's so food is in abundance in that regard, and the food is so fresh. You have to be really careful with buying too much if you don't plan on eating it within the next couple of days or pretty quick because it'll spoil on you. Let's see. Very true, sis. Very true. It's that's just the way it is, and we can communicate with each other, share thoughts, share ideas. Uh, I know, I follow you for a while. You're a little bit more tech savvy than myself. Uh, I'm kind of on that out in the pasture, in the field, out in the chicken coop, and hands in the dirt type. By the way, shout out hands in the dirt, man. Great content you put out, brother. Um, yeah, it just seems to be like one thing after another, after another, after another, and it seems like this one, that thing starting to kind of dissipate a little. I don't want to say that. That's just what I think because of what I see. I don't know. So I'm basing that on my perspective and my perspective alone. But that and have any of you heard uh, about these prices? Are they really that bad? Is it? I guess for my folks in the states, I'm asking, and please leave a comment. Which is it more? Is it more that it's the absence of the commodity itself, like you just can't find it, or you can find it, but it's insanely uh, expensive compared to what it was a month ago or a year ago? Because I'm seeing and I'm hearing both, And a lot of these channels, man, a lot of these YouTubers, they're actually they going in, they documenting if they can, store empty shelves, this or that. But you know, I try to play that smooth, play that easy because, excuse me, I don't know if it's like directed to weather, if it's like a storm, and if that's an old picture, or if not. And I'm not doubting or discrediting anybody. I'm just saying when I can holler at my family or friends and people I value and trust your opinion, and you like, yeah, bro, this is like this, then it's like, okay, that's what it is. Then that's what it is. I'm of a mind that all we can do is pay attention, plan for the worst, hope for the best, head on a swivel, and keep enjoying and living your life as best you can because uh, this shit, this is it, man. Inflation. I know. It seems to be falling right into place. A lot of moving pieces to this puzzle, Empress. A lot of different things seem to, I'll say I think uh, what's that saying? I forget how that saying goes. Sometimes coincidences take a lot of something. I forget it, so I won't butcher it because I can't remember it exactly. But yeah, you absolutely right in that regard. Inflation in 2021 is higher in 1 year than and it is, man, and it is. But um, what else? I guess my question is to that: what do we do um, as a result of that, outside of what we're doing right now, which is paying attention and planning as best you can with what you can for yourself and for your family, and continue to try to enjoy this life as much as you can because it's an interesting time right now. I'm sure everybody who's ever been alive, if it was 1373 and somebody was like, man, damn, boy, it's an interesting time to be alive. Heard about that shit, Galileo. It's always something. Even the pyramids, people was like, wow, boy, them pyramids, man, it took us 25 years to build that shit, but it's done, boy. Uh, I think they finished the I think they finished the pyramids in less time than that damn traffic in Dallas. Not just the traffic, I mean construction. Every time since I was a teenager, boy, what did 35 we get off 20? Anyway, uh, yes, yes. Um, and I don't know if y'all ever. It's kind of trippy, man. I don't know if anybody, if you into like Afro sci-fi a little bit, and most people familiar with Octavia Butler, but a lot of parables of this parable of that parable of the soul, but it's like it's really trippy. And I guess the longer you live, you get to see different things from television, different books from various authors. Uh, you get to see a lot of things come to fruition, good, bad, and ugly. And it's like, damn, man, I'm actually allowed to see this transition of society and of humanity go from that point to this point, and from where it was to where it'll probably be in the near future. But immediately, um, in the more immediate future, I'm just really wondering because, like I said, I'm just gonna glance at my note real quick. We got Texas, we got the West Coast, we got the East Coast. I didn't really chop it up with nobody in like Florida, uh, Georgia, mostly Northeast is where I'm getting these same stories that seem to be everywhere. And I'll leave a description. I mean, I'll leave some of these articles in the description box. But again, New York Times, Wyong News, or Weon, however you want to pronounce it, News, who else? So many, man. Reuters. In fact, I just want to read a paragraph or two real quick from this Reuters joint. This article on Reuters is from January 31st, 2022. Nepal, again, like I said, reportedly it's in 39 countries. I'm wondering how it's going to impact me. I'm wondering how it's going to impact you as a consumer, me as an investor and, producer. Nepal has reported an outbreak of the highly pathogenic H5N1 bird flu virus on a poultry farm. The World Organization, the WHO, for Animal Health, said on Monday. The virus has killed 3,510 birds on the farm in the eastern district of Morang. With the rest of the 5,160 strong flock culled, if culling is pretty much like euthanize, put them down away. Paris-based OIE says, citing a report from Nepal's authorities, severe forms of avian influenza, commonly called bird flu, have spread across Europe and Asia in recent months, leading to mass culling in some countries to stem the disease. And that's just the first paragraph, really, because it's kind of broken in short sentences. Again, this article was printed January 31st, 2022. So they like legit saying, and I mean, when you you can hear things out on these YouTube streets. You can hear people, maybe a small YouTuber make a video or two here and there. A lot of it initially stems from independent journalists and small, online papers, mags, whatever. And then when you start getting to like Reuters, when you start getting the New York Times, when you start getting to who else, man? A couple of I'm seeing it more. The frequency is getting to the point where even National Geographic put out a joint on this about this situation. So, and I mean, pretty much saying what is this article from? January 10th, deadly bird flu threatens Israel's wildlife, triggers hunting ban. That's one of the countries I was saying earlier about hunting. They don't want you to be out, hunting wild, which that could be a whole nother video in and of itself with the restrictions centered on, in, and around you being able to go kill something, skin it and cook it, or grow it. Grow what you want to grow on your own land when you want to grow it. That's literally, in fact, that will be another video at some point. But this has been going on for a while, and the fact that it hasn't went away and it's only intensifying says this is something that we should all pay attention to. What my tongue looking like. I'm gonna go for another couple of minutes, so I don't want to keep this. It's not a live long. I'm looking more for responses. So please hit me up in the chat now, or leave a comment. Let me know if you're in the States. Like, what are you seeing in your area as far as I'm not even asking general food shortages, right? I'm more specifically focused on what you seeing about this meat, these chickens, even pork, even beef products. Is it is it non-existent, or you seeing plenty of it and it just costs you, you know what I'm saying, an arm and a leg? Cause before I even wow, before we even moved, got a video coming. It's been over a year. Um, Man, briskets, boy, they just wanted your firstborn for a brisket. Real talk. I think it was like 80, 90, $112 briskets. It's like, bruh. Mm. Y'all let me know what it's looking like right now. Uh, Sorry, y'all, I ain't trying to look down too much. I just want to make sure I hit all my points before I jump off of here. Potential price increase. I think I got it. I think I got it all covered. Oh, eggs. Eggs. Yes. Thank you. Please, y'all. I'm trying to grow the channel. We trying to grow the channel. If y'all get a chance, man, like the videos, share, please share, subscribe if you dig our content, what we putting out. Again, we just be in country in another country. Before I leave, in fact, I think I pretty much hit everything, because now I'm just waiting for responses. I just want to know what you all think in the States, what you're seeing, how it's impacting you, how you think it's gonna impact the food markets in your area and globally. But before I dip out, I want to say this. Uh, Thank you. Thank you, especially big shout out, much love to Empress Kino, uh, for the support, for jumping in the chat. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you to all the other YouTubers who, drop advice, uh, bother to subscribe. We really appreciate things like that. A lot of good YouTubers out here, man. I mean, people are human beings, and I think some of them, just show love, and that's what's up. The other point is, yes, uh, I live in Africa, in East Africa. I'm extremely happy being here. We are extremely blessed from the support from our family. Uh, you make big moves. Some things you you feel like me, but you never know how things gonna work out. And uh, I can never love my little sister, my brother-in-law, other family members and relatives, just always offering kind words, support, help, faith in what you're trying to pull off, because it's like, it's not an easy task. Say I'm finna move to another country. I'm gonna adapt to that country. I'm gonna start a business, and uh and I'm finna do this shit in real life. You know what I'm saying? So um it's it's not an easy task. It's not an easy task at all, but it's possible. And I love doing it. We love doing it. And the point I was driving home, the point I was trying to get to is no Tanzanian has ever asked me to like not be me. Um Everybody's experiences are different. Some people have a more difficult time. Some people fall into things a little bit smoother. Um, I think it would be maybe a different experience for me if I was, excuse me, if I was in Dar es Salaam versus in Arusha region, because Arusha is extremely like, it's country, it's rural, it's a mountainous region of Tanzania in East Africa, and I'm at home. I mean, I like really dig it. I'm happy. I'm comfortable. Uh, I walk to the store. It's like chickens and the baba coming through with like this whole herd of goat and some cows, and I step over to the side of, hey, we just all walk together to wherever we going, and okay, peace, Bob, I see it. It's like, I love that, man. It's something real reminiscent about being in the country in Texas. And I'm able to be me. That's all I'm ever gonna be wherever I'm at. I'm always be me.
No Tanzanian that I've encountered has ever said, you know, why don't you be less you? But again, these are just my experiences. But I appreciate that and I respect that. And again, it's not about me giving up any other part of myself. It's about me being inclusive of that ancestral part that I may have missed out on for reasons we all know. That's another video. I ain't gonna dip into it now. And that's a whole nother 30, 40-minute video, right? But I'm happy. I'm fortunate. We happy. We fortunate. We blessed. Shout out to all the country people who just don't mind being country and proud of it. Shit, trail riding, barbecuing, green growing, green picking, uh, pea shelling, chicken plucking. Country folks out there who know how to make a way out of no way. And that's what I see a lot of my people over here doing, making a way out of no way. So, excuse me, okay. All right. Look, y'all, I appreciate the time. Thank you for checking it out. Please don't forget to subscribe to African Dreaming. Like, share, and you know what we're gonna be doing, man. We're gonna be right here. That's right. Being country in another country.